Let's journey through astonishing moments where nature reveals its power, captured right through the camera lens. Get ready because we begin now. Music in just a blink. The ceiling of a dining room in Springfield, Virginia, suddenly gave Waka lapsing in front of a family and leaving them stunned. Meanwhile, a FedEx driver unintentionally scores a goal by ramming straight into a fence and reverses like a magicianry, reminding us that awareness always trumps vanishing acts. Music watch as an avalanche cascades down in Chet Tercel, Russia, a breathtaking show of nature's overwhelming grace. Then comes a controlled demolition of a cooling tower, marking the end of one era and the beginning of a cleaner, greener future. Music, a half-finished apartment complex in Raleigh, collapses under stormy assault, reduced to rubble before it was ever home. On June 19th, Shenandoah Valley witnessed a mighty storm. Torrents of rain and a whirlwind transformed a serene land into a chaotic sea of motion. Stay. Whether where to stay safe, and if you're impressed by these moments, drop a like. Music A. Crowd gathers, hushed, witnessing the transformation of a place once rich in memories, now reduced to dust and echoes. A landslide reduces a structure to a smoldering memory. In North Carolina, a microburst turns a quiet backyard into a war zone of debris in mere seconds. Sichuan witnesses a terrifying landslide. A thick wall of dust rises, burying key parts of National Highway 213, bringing traffic to a standstill. If these clips inspire you, super thanks goes a long way. A construction worker reacts with lightning-fast reflexes, narrowly escaping a torrent of falling debris. Music, hundreds of bees converge on a roadside flower pot, turning it into an impromptu buzzing picnic. In Montreal, a burst main pipe creates a citywide splash, transforming an ordinary street into a wild, free public pool. Music's strong winds batter the Air Peninsula, raising a dust storm so thick it looks like a curtain falling from the sky. Music, a lightning strike blazes across the horizon, caught perfectly on camera. A tiny French bulldog draws a crowd with its confident skateboard show rolling with flair. Over in Wisconsin, a funnel cloud spirals downward through heavy skies, preparing to touch the ground. Music in Aranzano, Italy, storm surges slam into coastal restaurants. Dining rooms now part of the sea, nature's might turns everyday roads into cinematic battlefields. Music. Chunks of glacier suddenly shatter and crash into icy waters below. Loud, shocking, majestic. On Ocean Drive, storms obliterate homes, leaving heartbreak and fragments behind. In Krakow, a tornado carves through the streets, pulling destruction in its wake. Music, nature shows it cannot be tamed. And sometimes it doesn't even knock before entering. Music in Bosnia, a house weakened by floodwaters collapses in seconds. In Sydney, furious storms unleash torrents that drown streets and destroy rooftops. Music, Hurricane Ida barrels into New Orleans, scattering debris like playing cards. A cheeky squirrel in London causes commuter chaos as it bolts through a subway car. Thousands of blackbirds descend onto a Texas parking lot, Hitchcockian in their timing and terror. In Argentina, a storm convinces a seaside house to surrender itself to the sea. Music, a cliff crumbles onto a coastal road in the Canary Islands, shocking onlookers with nature's raw strength. Climate change shows its teeth again. These phenomena are more than accidents. They're warnings. Scotland drowns in 2019 floods. Bridges collapse. Roads vanish. Nova Scotia faces similar chaos. A road gives way, forming a gaping sinkhole. Music, have you ever seen anything quite like this? Music in Malta, a lighthouse stands tall, braving waves that crash like thunder. At Waimea Bay, Hawaii, towering tsunami waves crash into crowds. A normal day turned unforgettable. Massive swells batter New South Wales. Tables and chairs float where families once dined. Oroville Dam in California overflows with roaring force. Engineers race against time to reinforce the spillway in Queensland. Two whales rise from the sea in unison, an aquatic miracle greeted by gasps and applause. On Icelandic shores, ice chunks glitter like treasure scattered from a dream. Music prepare, be safe, and always heed nature's warnings. A waterspout dances over Lake Michigan, swirling with beauty and menace. Music in Florida. Clearwater Beach is overtaken by a waterspout that storms the shore. In Cyprus, another spirals upward, drawing awe and fear. The river in Shong surges, breaching its banks as red rainstorm warnings sound. Music skies over North Carolina beach darken. The air grows heavy. Change is coming. West Sumatra loses bridges to relentless rain. Communities cut off in moments. In Queensland, flocks of birds swirl in morning skies like living clouds. Phoenix experiences chaos as the monsoon topples trees and tears off roofs. Music Alaska's auroras blaze with green brilliance. It's nature's most magical light show in Wisconsin. An icy parking lot collapses, cars vanish through shattered ice. Music, nature's wonders, and disasters go hand in hand. In Saudi Arabia, a wall of dust swallows landscapes whole. A fish leaps through a waterspout. Shimmering in a rainbow like a marine magician, Rome freezes under a hailstorm. Cars halted, streets buried. Music Matagorda's winds whip up sandstorms ahead of Hurricane Nicholas's wrath. At Yosemite, lucky visitors catch a full rainbow at the falls, a rare sight in any lifetime. Snow Blanket, Salt Lake City. Painting every corner with nature's gentle brush. Music, a winter storm in Big Sky. Montana gives birth to a snow tornado, breathtaking and terrifying. In Utah, dust devil twisters swirl through streets, shaking the earth. A trampoline earns the title of easiest storm victim, cartwheeling through the air. Music, if you're loving these moments, your support helps us keep sharing them. Music Lightning strikes a Greek neighborhood, lighting up the night like a supernova. In Hurricane Sally's wake, a sailboat sinks overpowered by the waves. In the open sea, kayaker battles wave falls with only a motorboat and willpower. Storm Samba hurls waves the size of buildings across ocean waters. Music suddenly of whales breaks the surface, the sea's giants offering a rare appearance. Near Greenland, a 300-foot iceberg drifts dangerously close to shore. Music in Mancia de las Mulas. Rain floods the roads, halting traffic in its tracks. A lightning bolt strikes a tree in Colorado, detonating bark and branches. A Scottish ferry fights through fierce winds, a floating symbol of persistence. Music, an unmanned boat flips and flies across waves. It's caught in a storm's fury. Music Smoke reddens the sky in Northern California, wildfires blazing across the region. In Ireland, Storm Doris slams coastal towns with wave after wave. Corfu's cruise ship catches fire, thick smoke curling skyward, passengers in a panic. Music, and just yesterday, a bolt of lightning struck a golf hole, exploding into flame. Music, whether large or small. Bravery and love shine through like a dog's spirit or a tearful embrace. Music, is it the sea's message or a guest from another realm? Music, finally, a tractor's overconfident U-turn ends in disaster. Wheels gone, lesson learned. Sometimes a detour is the smartest route. Music, narrow escape, but let's hope he never has to try that again. Until next time.